90 years combined at bars. That's the maximum penalty a man and a woman here in Fargo are potentially facing after police conducted a series of undercover drug buys throughout the south end of town. Court documents outline 5 undercover buys from between June 20th and 28th. Some of those undercover operations happened in spots you might go, places like Kmart, Taco Bell, and the Bowler on University Drive South, along with the Countryside Trailer Court. In total, the undercover officers purchased $1,750 worth of meth. James Eason and Shantae Turner were both arrested, and a search warrant for Turner's residence turned up with even more meth. Both Eason and Turner have their first court dates set for early August. Authorities in Barnes County, North Dakota are asking for your help finding a wanted man. They're looking for 26-year-old Andrew LaCroix. He's wanted on a forgery charge, a felony. He is 5'9", 150 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Officers ask that if you see LaCroix, don't approach him. Instead, call law enforcement right away. If you have information on LaCroix's whereabouts, you can call the Barnes County Sheriff's Office at 701-845-8530. A Fargo man is facing several charges after a tip about possible child pornography from a national organization that led to his arrest. Authorities executed a search warrant of Robert Augustlager's apartment on Wednesday after being tipped off by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. During the search, investigators found a cell phone with multiple images of child pornography. Augustlager is charged with possession of a child pornography, along with drug charges after the search turned up meth, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. It's Friday, time to take a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Fargo police say Ali Hashi is wanted for felony theft charges. Be sure to call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. To date, the Valley's Most Wanted program has helped police make more than 580 arrests. A Fargo police officer who is facing domestic assault charges is set to go to trial in September. Jeremiah Ferris is a canine handler. He's facing multiple charges after an incident between him and his girlfriend, which followed a canine event in Moorhead. Police were called to a domestic dispute in the 1500 block of River Drive South in Moorhead back in June. They say they found the woman with visible injuries to her legs and arms. Ferris has pleaded not guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges of domestic assault and 1 count of disorderly conduct. His trial date is set for September 12th. Last night, a series of garages were broken into at a Fargo apartment complex. Valley News Team's Molly Casey spoke to a local property management company about ways to keep apartment complexes safe.
Normally, you would always want to close your garage door.
Fargo PD posted this alert online after a man entered into an open garage at the Carlton Place Apartments and broke through walls into other garages. Thankfully, nothing was reported missing and most were empty.
Always lock your vehicle, even if it's inside any garage.
Tammy Hauk is the director of Valley Rentals. Though the complex isn't under her company, she says the renter who left the garage open could face a fine.
Tenants should always refer to their lease and speak with their property manager in terms of if there would be fees or fines that the tenant might be charged if they leave something open or unlocked.
Those fines are unique to each property, but Tammy says it's better to speak up if something seems wrong.
If you always close your garage door and you see garage doors open, whether there's vehicles inside or not, report that to your property manager so that they can check into it.
And even if you close your garage door, don't assume your belongings are safe.
Practice that you keep the valuables in very safe keeping and not in a garage at any circumstance.
Garage doors aren't the only security concern. Tenants should ensure the complex door is secure too.
Make sure that if it doesn't close, that you would report that to your maintenance hotline or 24-hour service so that maintenance can fix that door to make sure it's always closed. Make sure it's closing when you're coming and going.
So whether it's the garage door or a complex door, it's better that they're closed.
So it's very good to care about one another and make sure that things are locked and safekeeping for everybody on the property.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
Maintenance phone numbers for apartment complexes should be included in rental paperwork or posted on the property management's website, but suspicious activity should be reported to the police. A 54-year-old motorcyclist is fighting for his life after hitting a deer in Becker County. Minnesota Highway Patrol reports that Charles Willett of Lake Park, Minnesota, was traveling westbound on Highway 10 near Long Lake Road around 1 o'clock this afternoon. 3 deer ran across the roadway. Willett struck one of the deer, and investigators say he was not wearing a helmet at the time of the crash. Right now, he's being treated at a Detroit Lakes hospital. There's a way for you to help out a Detroit Lakes veteran who's being forced out of his rental property. We first told you about Brian Fraser yesterday. He served in Vietnam and underwent a liver transplant last November. Valley News Live's investigation found that Fraser's situation seems to stem from a neighbor dispute. The adjoining property's landlord and Fraser have not gotten along for years. Inspectors say that the property violates the city's rental property ordinance and is not up to code. A GoFundMe campaign has been set up to help Fraser and has raised $420 so far. If you'd like to help out, we have a link attached to this story on our website at valleynewslive.com. Usually running on all fours is frowned upon in 5Ks, but today was an exception made for one night. The Not Your Everyday 5K lets pet owners take their furry friends out for a stroll while they're also raising money for the Homeward Animal Shelter. The shelter brought out some of the pets that are up for adoption to participate. The event, put on by Hooligans and Orange Theory Fitness, hopes to give some of these animals that need it a home regardless of the breed.
A lot of people tend to be excited about one particular breed over another and really look towards those types of animals, but there's so many animals that need homes that may not fit into those categories.
100% of the proceeds will go towards the animal shelter. New details emerge from the quadruple murder in Pennsylvania. Who's now facing charges? That's still ahead tonight.